Easy, Manile.
Stepping up, stepping up, stepping up. Open sesame, here comes Rasta. Abacadabra, catch me if you can. I know you find it hard to believe that I am the genie of your land, and I can anything you wish for. Right now, I'm commanding you to dance. Stepping up, stepping up. Oh, I'm stepping up, stepping up. Invisible music, give me up to the cradle of sound. Rhythm and deep. You cannot see it nowhere on earth. Can be straight at the time. I know you find it hard to believe that I am the genie of your life, and I can anything you wish for. Right now, I need to dance. Rain down, rain down, rain down, brimstone, thunder and lightning, hurricane. Says I'm stepping, journey through the tunnel of life. Wisdom is respected, hatred is rejected. From the time in dread, I says it rains down. Climb my life is not done. What's our ego? Here comes Rastama. Abacadabra, catch me if you can. Open sesame, here comes Rastama. Abacadabra, catch me.
Peace, Bernice. Peace, Sister Yafe. Peace on the radio.
Highest heights and hottest Rasta dreadlocks down. Camel feds just can't stop. Under the better just can't stop. In love with your music. Invisible music. I step. Rejoice, the tidings I bring you. Yeah. A message to you, my friends. Invoke your angels. This special drop it cannot comprehend. No way. The blues is healing. It's sacred. Word off the shoulder. To the grave. Who is there today? So it shall reap joy. I show you say it. Stumbling block, backsliders get down. The righteous read the secret of the scripture. Wicked that portion vanity. Disciples of Lucy. Yes, their hands lie at destination. Got your life overdue. Mystical powers to you are born. Seeking the hand that has never been told. Come on, walk this down easy street. Trap these angels in dreams and their prayers. By the theology, by the vision, by the magic of Holy Soul. Wash away the blues and feelings. Spirit said, take the world off your shoulders. Put in the grave, my friend. Who's there to take? Just drop it, cannot come, God, no. Just drop it, cannot come, God, what is this? It's your only one. Get getting ready. Come to rock steady. Yeah. You got to do this new dance. Baby, I'm ready. You got to do it just like I'm ready. If you don't know, shake your head, rock your body line, shake your shoulders, everything is fine and see. Oh, 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 oh. You got to make it work. Better get ready, just to do rock steady. Yeah. You got to do this new dance, just like Brady. You got to do it just like Uncle Freddy. If you don't know, shake your head, rock your body down, shake your shoulder.
Seen, but I am glad you made mention of this, and I am also glad that representatives of EMI, my recording company, is here to hear you saying that bomboclat because.
All right, let's take it a step further and see how many copies are going to sell in Japan as compared to United States.
I know that. Seen, all these things are intentional, done to exploit the artist. Seen,
But if the people want the video bad enough, believe me, they got it. I got it for them.
I don't even like hear them rascal thing there, but I don't even talk to them yet. But I am only glad you mentioned that, my dear, and thank you very much.
Video is important. Right?
Yes, and they don't do nothing for that.
I have a comment regarding the video, as well as demand. When I went to buy my copy of the video, they told me at the store that they had many, many requests for that video at that time. So just so the record company should know that that video is in demand.
I know that. See, but it's not a Michael Jackson bumbleclot element, and not a little with the next one named Prince element, and them kind of little bit back bumbleclot element. It's too, what's it? It's too black for them. Is that I want to know if it's too bumbleclot black for them, or it's too right for them, because it's not wrong, because people don't want wrong things.
But in a way, we've had to start companies which are reggae video companies, or this video company, or that video company, that just deal with that, because they don't.
I know that.
And that's what I'm on.
Well, my dear, I'll show you like no. When you mention this, I'm very glad you mentioned this, because, you see, as I say, these are things, I don't cut you as I say.
I'm sorry, with that record, was there a record for that video?
A record? Yes.
So why can't the video be, yes, so why can't the video be released at the same time?
For example, when I asked EMI why is not the live album released, they told me they released 40,000 America. In one day, it sold off.
So,
One day, seen, and no more was put out from that time. These things are the things that I bumbleclot talk about. And when I get so fucking upset, I don't bother blood clot talk English bumbleclot grammar, because them things that get me very bumbleclot upset. Seen? And all because, you know why? I'm not singing, darling, I blood clot, love you, and come shake my rasta, and I swim the ocean and climb the mountain. See? And that not going to change me. See? Because I am going to kill the fuckery out there, and people is going to be in demand for the truth. People is sick and tired of hearing bumbleclot, get down, shake your fucking body. See? People is sick and tired of hearing, darling, I blood clot, love you. You turn on the fucking radio 24 bumbleclot hours a day. You hear, darling, I love you. A man singing, a man wouldn't sing to the almighty rasclot. Him love him woman more than the creator who create the sun, the moon, and the bumbleclot star. I sick and tired of hearing that bumble blood clot sing.
Yeah, so no ska. No rock steady, no darling, I love you. See, I see you. Sorry, Neats. Yeah. But yeah, man. Working on finishing up Peter Tosh today. And for those of you who maybe missed some of the previous sessions, working on this artist. That was an interview. I think this was like a year before he had transitioned, where he was speaking about well, he was being interviewed, but he was being asked about a certain show that he did, a recording of a certain show that he did, and his record label did not want to produce or distribute copies of it. You know, the first time they brought it out, the first day it sold out, but after a while, it was like, where's the rest? You know, everybody was like, I've been trying to get my hands on this thing, and the record label that he was with, EMI, just did not want to release it. And he was saying that if it was something like Prince or Michael Jackson or singing about dancing or anything, or you know, just "Darling, I Love You," it would get distributed. But because he's speaking the truth, and he's talking about destroying a lot of the wrongdoing and injustice and inconsistencies he saw in the world, his music was being pushed less, you know. And in another interview, he was speaking about how he was being compared with successful people like Bob Marley and you know, more successful people in terms of popularity and how many people were actually buying it. And it was being done purposefully so that people could look at him like, oh, you have all this money. He's like, I don't have all this money, because they're saying that I'm selling all these records, or they're saying that I'm so successful, but I'm not making nearly as much as I'm supposed to be making. But they do that so that if you complain, or if you say that record company is withholding something from me, people would look at you like you're crazy. You're making all this money and you're still complaining. You know, so you can hear the frustration in his voice. And that was the clip that made me even want to learn more about Peter Tosh and do a portrait of him. Because I found that I've been drawing nothing but my favorite artists, or just energies that I like, that I thought should be more prevalent, you know, or we just don't produce more of them. And Chifa touched on that during our recent Clubhouse segment. I see some people talking. I think this is the first sketch of someone with facial hair. No, more people have facial hair. Michael J. White has facial hair. Jim Kelly kind of had facial hair because he had the sideburns. You know, there's definitely someone with this much hair though. Yeah, that hair took up the whole of the last episode. But yeah, man, just the respect for process that that he was building on. Like he wasn't going to compromise on the message that he saw as it being his mission to sort of promote and share. You know, he wasn't into, I'm going to compromise just so I could get this far. And then once I get this far, I'm going to take off my mask and show the real me. It was more like, I'm coming straight out the gate. I'm not changing for no one. And I'm going to spread the message that I know I was sent to spread. You know, but yeah, I just wanted to play that clip because almost to remind me of why I started doing it, honestly. Why I started doing this drawing. Yeah, so I'm going to play some more music because as you can probably tell already that I don't really have a format for these segments. I just draw. And sometimes I have an insight to share, but sometimes I just draw. I just be drawing. So I'm going to play some more music. I have some things that I wanted to touch on, but for right now, I want to lay down a couple more different values and get some segments tightened up. on the radio says not all ska is love music though, but it started to lean towards it because of rhythm and blues influence from America. Yeah, well, that one was talking about rocking steady and dancing. Yeah, so that one, I like the song. You know what I mean? It was on my playlist, but when I was going through all of the music I wanted to play, I listened to the lyrics and I was like, this is the very thing um, that was dominating the airwaves. You know, even when Tosh and others were speaking about injustices, people would prefer to sell you dance music or love music. But yeah, man, I'm gonna play some more music and then I'll come back. I'm gonna get some sort of order going with this thing, but I'm moving with the rhythm of it and I'm respecting the process.
They just keep holding me, won't let go. Holding me, won't let go. I need armor to armor them down. I need armor to run them down. They just keep teasing me, and you know they don't know. Provoking me, but this is all I know. I need armor to run them down. I need armor to armor them down. I need armor to armor them down. I need armor to armor them down. Said I need armor to armor them down. I need armor to armor them down. Holding me, won't let go. Holding me, won't let go. I need armor to run them down. I need armor to run them down. I need armor. I need armor to armor them down. I need armor to run them down. I need armor to armor them down. I need armor to run them down. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. You preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. You are dumpy and you don't knows what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold, and half the story has never been told. So now we see the light. We gonna stand up for our rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Brothers, stand up for your rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Sisters, don't give up the fight. I'm begging you to get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. I said don't give up the fight. Cause you know most people think a great God will come from the skies and take away everything and left everybody dry. But if you know what life is worth, you would look for yours right here on earth. And now we see the light. We gonna stand up for our rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Don't let them push you around. Stand up for your rights. Come on, brothers, get up, stand up. We break down, don't give up the fight. I say get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Don't let them hold you down. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Sick and tired of this game of technology. Humbly asking Jesus for his mercy. We know and we understand. Almighty Jah is a living man. You fools and people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And now we see the light. We gonna stand up for our rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Come on, brothers, get up, stand up. I said don't give up the fight. Don't let them. I said get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Come on, sisters, get up, stand up. I said don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Down, press some man. Where you gonna run to? Down, press some man. Where you gonna run to? Down, press some man. Where you gonna run to? Oh, you gotta run to the sea, but the sea will be boiling when you run to the sea. The sea will be boiling when you run to the sea. The sea will be boiling all along that way. You gotta run to the rocks. The rocks will be melting when you run to the rocks. The rocks will be melting when you run to the rocks. The rocks will be melting, I said, all along that way. So I said, down, press some man. Where you gonna run to? I said, down, press some man. Where you gonna run like to be afraid. Under your color, man, I wouldn't like to be afraid. Under your color, man, I wouldn't like to be afraid. Under your color, oh, along that way. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. Telling you all along that way. You're gonna run through the Lord. Begging him to hide you. You're gonna run to the Lord. Begging him to hide you. You're gonna run to Jah. Begging him to hide you. Oh, along the sea. And I said, down, press a man. Where you gonna run to? Where you gonna run to? Down, press a man. Where you gonna run to? I said, all along that down, press a man, down, press a man, down, press a man, down, press a man, where, down, press a man, where you gonna run to, down, press a man, I don't know where you gonna run to, all along that way, down, press a man, you can't run, you can't ride, Jah. Can't call him in a bar. He can drink some, the devil soup. Can't bribe him around the corner. Can't test him fate. Down press the man, Lord. Down press the man. I said down press the man. Don't run. Down press the man. Down press the man. Where you gotta run to? Down press the man. You can't bribe no one. Them no one no money. They run that money. Cause money get funny. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. Neither are you real to live up to mine. Yeah. I don't owe no one no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. I am means my ability. Don't definite my character. Don't belittle my authority. It's time you recognize my quality. I said I am that I am. I am, I am, I am. I am that I am. I am, I am, I am. I said I am that I am. I am, I am, I am. I am that I am. I am, I am. Learn to love your brother. Don't forget your neighbor. From the city, it's dirty shitty. It is full of antiquity. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am. I am the rock of ages, you cannot move by at all. I am the son of lightning, you cannot move by at all. Son of Jacob, you cannot move at all. I am the son of Moses, you can't move by at all. I am the son of David, you cannot move by at all. I'm the son of light, you cannot move by at all. The shepherd, you cannot move by at all. People are treat me good. If you wanna live, I beg you treat me good. I'm like a walking razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Say I'm dangerous. I'm like a walking razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. If you are a bully, treat me good. If you are a bully, I beg you treat me good. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. If you are a jockey, you better chucky from me. If you are a jockey, you better chuck from me. I'm like a stepping razor, watch my size, I'm dangerous. I'm so dangerous. I'm like a stepping razor, don't watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. If you eat that fall, you treat me good. If you drink like soda, You better treat me good. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size. I'm dangerous, dangerous. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size. I'm dangerous, dangerous. You are bulldogger, no matter what from me. If you are dirty, away from me. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my side. Stepping razor, walking lines, I'm dangerous, dangerous. If you wanna live, treat me good. Wanna live, if you wanna live, you better treat me good. I'm like a stepping on the tipping watch I'm dangerous, I'm dangerous. I'm like a stepping jumping alright, I'm dangerous, I'm dangerous. If you drink, mother, treat me good. And if you eat break, treat me good. I'm like a flashing lights in a rolling thunder. I'm dangerous, dangerous. I'm like a stepping razor, don't you watch my size. I'm dangerous, I'm dangerous. Oh, how I just put it more through the spot in chart there. And things away, let it chop through the earth. And I said, God is here. Just smile, man, and let your face stop hurting, man. Treat me good. If you wanna live, you better treat me good. Like Domino's bluntly, you know, go through 150 after 3 minutes, I go through. That's all now. Only your name would be here. If you wanna live, you coulda drink less soup. I'm dangerous. You coulda eat a fast. I'm dangerous. You coulda eat bread and crackers. I'm dangerous. But I have to go on. I'm dangerous. Look how this father is. But he's dangerous. I saw the sun. But I'm dangerous. Everyone is crying out for peace, yes. None is crying out for justice. Everyone is crying out for peace, yeah. None is crying out for justice. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights, justice. I and justice. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die for the rest of Jesus. Everybody wants to go up to heaven, but none of them want to die. I don't want no peace. I'm a need equal rights and justice. I've got to get equal rights and justice. I really need it. Equal rights and justice. Just give me my share. Equal rights and justice. What is due to Caesar? You better give it on to Caesar. And what belongs to I, you better give it up. Cause I don't want no peace and equal rights and justice. I need rights and justice. I've got to get it. Equal rights and justice. I'm fighting for it. Equal rights and justice. Everyone heading for the top, but tell me how far is it from the bottom? Nobody knows, but everybody fighting to reach the top. How far is it from the bottom? I don't want no equal rights. Just I need equal rights and justice. I've got equal rights and justice. I really need equal rights and justice. Everyone is talking about crime. Tell me who are the criminals? I said everybody's talking about crime. Tell me who are the criminals? I really don't. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. We got to get equal rights and justice. I will be no crime. Equal rights and justice. There'll be no criminals. Equal rights and justice. Everyone is fighting for equal rights. Justice, Palestine is fighting for equal rights. Justice, down in Angola, equal rights. Justice, down in Botswana, equal rights. Justice, down in Zimbabwe, equal rights. Justice, down in Russia, equal rights. Where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. come from Westmoreland, you're an African. So don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. Don't mind your nationality, you have got the identity of an African. Cause if you come from Trinidad, and if you come from Nassau, and if you come from Cuba, you are an African. So don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. Don't mind your complexion, there is no rejection, you're an African. Cause if your flexion high, if your flexion low, and if your flexion in between, you're an African. So don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you are an African. Don't mind denomination, that is only segregation, you're an African. Cause if you go to the Catholic, and if you go to the Methodist, and if you go to the Church of God, you're an African. So don't care where you come from, as long as you're a black man, you're an African. No mind your nationality, I've got the identity of an African. Cause if you come from Brixton, if you come from Queensday, if you come from Queensday, if you come from Bronx, if you come from Brooklyn, if you come from Queens, if you come from Manhattan, if you come from Canada, if you come from Miami, if you come from Switzerland, if you come from Germany, if you come from Russia. Though I trod through this valley, I will fear no evil. Though I trod through this valley, I will fear no evil. 'Cause I know Jaga, Jaga, Jaga. I chose this valley, and I knew when I'm trotting through that valley, I knew though my enemies fight me every day, I will fear no. Though my enemies set traps in my way, still I will fear no evil. Jaga, 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 Jaga. I choose this valley. through this valley. I know pestilence lurks in darkness. I feel no destruction walk with smiling faces. And I will feel no Jaga, 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 I through this valley. I know when I'm trying to get valley. I know when I'm walking the streets. I know when I'm smoking my pipe. I know when I'm trying to Milan, quite illegal. In Milan, dig out me gold. In Milan, digging out the earth. In Milan, dig out me diamond. We are the fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. You're in Milan, and you build up your body. You're in Milan, you build up your regime. You're in Milan. Only talk about justice. You're in our life, handing down injustice. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Fight, fight, fight against apartheid. You're in our life. You don't feel no skin. They block tears when you're in a Milan. No hospital, a black till you're in a Milan. You build your prison, you're in a Milan. You build your camp. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gotta fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Africa is for black man. Remember, there's certain place in Africa, black man get no recognition. So we have to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Black man got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Across the border, we shoot after children. Across the border, we shoot down women. Across Cross the border. Cross the border. The peaceful life. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Hearts of majority, majority rule, minority. But that would rule, so we can fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Break off from Britain. You're quite illegal. Right where you are, you get the forces from colonial powers taking my time, filling ballistic missiles. Now we have to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Black man got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. Come on in, fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We gonna fight, 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 fight against apartheid. We got to fight, 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 fight against apartheid. And it's the same philosophy. I say it's 400 years. And my people just begin to see. Why do they fight against these youths of today? And without these youths, they would be gone, all gone astray. Come on, make a move. I can see that the time has come, and the little fools don't see. I know the youths of today have to be strong. So come on with me, I take you to a land of liberty, sweet liberty, where we can live a good life and be free. Look how long, it's 400 years. Wait so long, and it's the same old time philosophy. I say it's 400 years. Get impatient, cause my people they fail to see. But come on with me, you are black and you're proud, so you got to be free. You got to be free. Don't sit down and cry. of slavery. They say it was abolished, but that was only polish. It's the same philosophy, same philosophy. 400 years, long gone years, generation come and go, and the same Columbus, Henry Morgan, Bartholomew, Jesus. Making you to have some faith, my brother. I'm making you to have a little faith, my sister. I'm a little jam and in that jam, have some faith, my brother. I'm begging you to have a little faith, my sister, cause there are many tribulation have to go through every day, and there are many temptations coming to you every day. I say that man in that jam. Won't you have a little faith? Have a little faith, my brother. I'm missing man in that jam. I'm begging you to have some faith, my sister. So many, yeah, so many temptations around the door today. So many tribulations around the way today. So I'm telling you, jam in a jam. Have a little faith, my brother. I think jam in a jam. Won't you have some faith, my brother? You could be behind bars, you could be somewhere in captivity. Have some faith. Have some faith, my brother. You could be behind bars, somewhere in captivity. But have some faith. Have a little faith, my brother. I'm begging you, Jaman. In a jam, don't have some faith. Have a little faith, my brother. I'm still begging you, Jaman, in a jam, don't dear. Won't you have some faith? Have some faith, my brother. I say, Jaman, in a jam, don't. Sometimes the woman may provoke your peace, but have some faith, my brother. I said, won't you have some faith? Have some faith, my brother. I'm begging you to have a little faith. Have a little faith, my sister. You got to feel the cross. Feel the cross, sister. There's no crown. I can't wear a crown. You got to fight Lucifer. Fight Lucifer, sister. Babylon, the kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. Babylon, your kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. Give me back the gold, the ruby and the diamond. Give me back the gold, the ruby and the diamond. Babylon, your kingdom is falling. And Rahab, Ethiopia is calling. Send I sons and daughters from afar off. All them that are called by name. Yeah. Send I sons and daughters from afar off. I said all those that are called by name. Oh, Babylon, your kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. I say Babylon, your kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. Give me back the zebra, the lion to the tiger. They say, give me back the zebra, the lion and the tiger. Oh, Babylon, your kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. I say, Babylon, your kingdom is falling. And the Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. Give me back the land, the language and the culture. Give me back the land, the language and the culture. Babylon, your kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. I say Babylon, your kingdom is falling. I say take back your ginger roach and mosquito. I say take back your ginger roach and mosquito. Cause Babylon, your kingdom is falling. Rahab, Ethiopia is falling. I say Babylon, Kingdom is falling. Real life, the youth, yeah. Give me back my land, my language and my culture. Give me back my land, my language and my culture. And the popular, the kingdom is falling. We have you guys call. Get up, stand up, stand up for your
Yeah, man. Just checking in. Oh wow, it's been an hour already. More than an hour. Jeez. Yeah. Get stuck in the got stuck in the groove. But yeah, man. Um, hopefully you're enjoying it so far. Oh yeah. Our new radio. It does add a different dimension. You know. But yeah, man. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far and enjoying the music, the vibes, just dealing with the energy of Peter Tosh. Um, I did learn a couple of things about him. I had seen his documentary, which he had actually gathered all of the footage for the purpose of making a documentary. Trying to talk and draw at the same time, multitasking. But he had gathered all of the footage for his documentary and all of the things, like all of the footage and reels that he had approved of, he had marked them with a red X. You know, hence the name of the documentary, Red X. And it just followed his life. Him not really growing up knowing his mother or father, growing up with his aunt. And he eventually, after his aunt had died when he was 15, he moved to Trenchtown. And that's where he started getting involved in some more music. When he was younger, there was a elder who was playing guitar in front of him, and he had let him hold the guitar, and he started playing what he had saw, what he had seen, and what he remembered. And the elder asked him, "Well, who taught you how to play the guitar?" And he said, "You did." You know, so he always moved with a sort of musical spirit and energy, and he got that name. Chief had mentioned it in the first session of this drawing, but he got that name Steppin' Razor from when he was young, and he was running, and he said he thought he had heard someone calling his name, so he had looked away while he was still running, and then when he looked back, he had ran into a barbed wire fence and sliced open his eyelid. Which I'm trying to get trying to get these scars proper, but I was trying to figure out if this was the scar or if there were just folds in his eyelid. But yeah, man, even from looking at his physiognomy, you can see that he has a tall rectangular head, you know, which usually marks a thinker, someone who's very contemplative. And he has these very small eyes that I'm trying to capture, but force of habit, I keep drawing them bigger. But you can tell that this is someone who is very perceptive and who could also grow to be suspicious, you know, and then he had good reason to be suspicious, right? But yeah, he also had a big influence on reggae music in general and on the music of Bob Marley, who was um, who was one of his band members, along with Bunny Wailer, and with the Wailers, the Wailing Wailers. That was their original name. And as he began to move through and recognize that there was a system in place, almost like an invisible hand, he sought to oust it and speak out against injustices, because he grew up very rough, and he grew up engaged in a lot of spiritual warfare, and he had gone through different spiritual experiences, and everyone used to people. It was almost like not a running joke, like as a mocking thing, but there was like, you can't be around Peter Tosh and not hear them story about the duppy them, you know. Yeah, I get it. Stepped in a razor, but it's also a threat. He turned it into a threat. I'm like a walking razor. Don't watch my size. I'm dangerous. But yeah, man. Oh, give thanks, Sovereign Eats. I'm glad it was. I'm glad you enjoyed it or are enjoying it. I know it's getting late too, and I don't like to have these drag on. I don't know. I might do I said I would. I'll do a Patreon maybe for the longer sessions, because I do want to draw for longer than I want to be live. And I typically have to force myself to stop. I'm also just resculpting this face because he shares lots of features with my older brother. And when I'm not conscious, this happens a lot with my siblings. When I'm not conscious, I tend to draw them while I'm drawing other people. So I'm just trying to fix these because they have very similar features. The only difference is my brother's face is a little rounder and his nose is a little larger. So you see me working at his nose and the sides of his face over here, because I'm trying to get the shape of his head. And my brain is like, does not compute. It's a little better. But yeah, man, I'm just going through and enjoying the process, which I spoke about today on Instagram when I did the Supreme Mathematics for today, which is understanding knowledge, all being born to culture freedom. And I spoke with Sister Maria and Sister Yamina, you two were there, about the conversation we had in the group when we were talking about just the supreme mathematics and some of the feedback you were getting. I know, Yamina, you said that you were getting some feedback that people were saying, I don't know when I would ever use it. Like, it sounds cool, but I don't know when I would ever use it. And Brother Rahim had a similar comment made by one of his classmates, and they said as soon as they saw mathematics, they just tuned out. So, which I get because I'm not a math person either. I always thought I had like dyslexia when it came to math. I used to always mix up the order and the numbers sometimes, or I would start out with one number in my head, but my brain is moving automatically. So by the time I write down another number, I'm on something else entirely. He did say he was here to cut out the effery. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that too. I need to. Okay, so from the image I'm using, and these eyes need to reshape. and shrink a little bit. This one is kind of okay, but it still needs to squint a little bit down here. Just to give you all an idea of why I keep jumping around. This needs to squint a little bit more. This one is a little bit open, but it's knotted around. This comes up here. This is just me making, I guess, some end of video corrections on notes. So this eye needs to change here. This nose is basically my brother's nose, so I need to raise this up a little bit and slim it out a little bit. I messaged my brother after the first session, and I told him I think I drew him by accident. So he was laughing about that. But yeah, just know that it takes everything in me to end these lives, because artists, like, I don't know, once we get into our zone, we don't want to stop. I noticed that about artists, like, no matter the craft, whether it's music or Michael Jackson trying to get Oprah to get down with the beat. He's got in his head, and Oprah's trying to talk to him, and he's just in his own world. Yeah, we don't want to stop once we get that groove. Because sometimes it's hard. You go for like a strong or a month, and you ain't feeling nothing, and then just boom, no matter where you are, you're in the grocery store, and you scrambling in your back pocket for an old receipt so that you could draw down a concept before it leaves you. You know, it's like a transmission coming through almost. Not even almost, and not even like, it's a transmission coming through, and you gotta be ever ready to really channel what's coming to you. Let's see, that's a little better. This here, like that. A little smaller. But yeah, my understanding knowledge, or seeing the truth of what it is that you already know. And a lot of that has to do with the ability to go back and revise your lessons, you know, and not assume that just because you heard something, you got it. You know, and it's similar to that phenomenon I was just talking about. You get a message and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you just go on about your day like, oh, I remember that. That's too good. And then when you get home, you turning over furniture and punching curtains because you can't remember what it is that you just received. You know, it's like a dream, like after you've woken up and you can't remember what you dreamed. What am I missing now? Something's off here. I think that's good. Maybe his eye needs to come over a little bit. That'll slim out his face. Yeah, in the zone. By the way, I'm not talking because you're here. I usually talk to myself when I'm doing this. Aha. I see a discrepancy. So this is supposed to be way darker, and that'll actually change the shape a little bit. Why this feels so wide? This chin is supposed to be like right here. Then it comes up. think I have my work cut out for me in terms of making this not look like my relative. And then I'm gonna show a screenshot of these two side by side, like my brother and Peter Toss with his permission, if I get it. Mm. Okay, cool. I think it's looking a little better now, though. Just look at the reference
Again, with one of the most important figures in the history of Jamaican music, one of the true survivors in the business and in life, Peter Tosh. Peter, welcome back to Los Angeles. Harry, don't want to waste any time. I want to get right to the heart of things. Yeah. Did you read Tim White's book? No, I got a copy though. Somebody gave me a copy. I need to give me a copy. Somewhere about it, please. So I shouldn't ask you any questions about that. No. Speaking of books, though, I understand that you may take a little time out from the music business and write a book yourself.
Yes, I'm in action doing that right now because too much people writing books off I and waiting to write books off I. And I have never written a book off of myself yet. And all of it is for commercial reasons. See? And then at the same time try to prove me uncommercially unsuccessful.
What's the book going to be about? Is it your life story? Is it about the music business? Is it about the Wailers?
Well, it will be everything because my life includes everything. See the Wailers, my communitarial environment, the spiritual environment, and all these things from church till now.
So it will be a Rastafarian book.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your impetus to finally start work on a book? What pushed you into that act finally?
Well, as I said, there are so many people writing about me. And what the people have been writing is propaganda and public mischief, or what they imagine about me, or what they hear about me, or what they think about me all the time. Because many of them haven't got the guts enough to sit down truthfully and reason with me to know the facts of my life. See, they only judge the book by the cover every time, and they write. Well, I am going to write some of the facts of my life, because all the facts of my life cannot be written in one book. That would be an encyclopedia. See?
So chapter 1 is ready.
Yes, chapter 1 is in function right now. First chapter 1.
Are you going to do any prophesying in the book?
Prophesying? I've always prophesied.
I know, that's why I asked.
Well, we don't know what the future holds because sometimes these things are not intentionally done. They just happen. So we don't know what the final conclusion of the book may work out to. Saying, but then again, what is to be must be done.
Peter, where is reggae strongest right now in the world?
In the world, in Europe.
In Europe.
Yeah, in Europe and Africa.
What about Australia?
Australia.
You just played there.
Yes, Australia is very heavy, man. I love it. First time I been there, and the people love it, love it.
Were you persecuted for herb at all there?
No, but the ministers of the shit thing always try to create elements around me to make it look like I'm a smuggler. I'm a herb distributor.
Do you smoke on stage in Australia?
In Australia, the smoke is a real one. Australia is just another place. When I went to Australia, I was
Brisbane. No, not Brisbane. It's Gold Coast. Adelaide, Sydney, Gold Coast. And I was at the hotel and somebody came to the hotel and told me that the commissioner of the police, or the chief of the police rather, came to the sound check to tell me that they're asking me not to smoke on stage because the people, the community, they've been spreading propaganda that want to teach their children to smoke herb and all these things. But if all their children were smoking herb, they wouldn't have these immune symptoms, breaking down symptoms.
So you think herb is a cure for herpes and AIDS?
If people was consuming herb for a long time, and you wouldn't have all these diseases, because first thing, herb directs you onto morality. See, and one cannot smoke herb now, catch herpes and come back and smoke herb and things that can cure it. Herb was designed for spiritual reasons. It's a propensity, not a cure.
Tell me about No Fixed Address. I understand Australia's all Aboriginal reggae band opened some of your shows for you in Australia. Is that right? What are they like?
Well, there are some Indian-looking kind of people, but dark complexion, some black, mixture of complexion. But I guess the African women, I think, more important features.
And they have the message of Rastafari in there.
No, they don't have the message of Rastafari. I think they are researching on that. They are, the message is just getting across. It's 20 hours away from Jamaica to Australia, from America to Australia. So you can imagine how much years away that is.
Yes.
So it's just getting into the vines of Australia. People are just beginning to pick up the essence or the fragrance of Rasta. They have not yet penetrated the spirituality.
But in Africa, the message has been heard and heeded and acted upon. There are reggae groups all over West Africa. In South Africa, despite the apartheid, there is a whole number of reggae groups that are bringing the message not only of Rasta, but of revolution to that country. Two of those musicians were arrested and put in jail for 4 years recently for playing reggae music. You probably heard about that.
Yes, I heard about something like that. For playing reggae music, can you imagine how dangerous the music is now? Yeah. See? And these are one of the main reasons why I canceled my thing, because they wanted to send to Israel.
And why did you cancel?
Because of the affiliation with South Africa. See, internal and external affiliation with South Africa.
Is it more of a legal affiliation than America's affiliation with South Africa? Or look at all the American companies that are doing business in South Africa. Why wouldn't you stop touring America for the same reason?
Well, America is like the challenge of many other places.
So you need America.
You have to go to America to go to many other places. Mm-hmm. I've already told them that apartheid is everywhere. I'm not ashamed to say that. Because racial discrimination is, the foundation is headquarters in America. That's why I have the White House. See? And we don't know that. But then again, you have to be an intelligent diplomat within the system. See? And there is no legal way of doing transactions with South Africa. See? Like, you cannot say a good Rasta man.
That's redundant. The Rasta man is a good person.
Always. And then people always make that mistake every time by talking about the good Rasta.
You know, when Jack Anderson did his syndicated column recently saying that Rastas were a bunch of terrorists who were here to assassinate government officials, Muda Baruka said, how come in the newspaper you never see someone saying 3 Christians arrested for bank robbery or 3 Christians arrested for murder?
Seriously, and yes, did. But you see, the reason for that now is because Christianity, when it came to the West, it was converted into devil worship. See, and deplorability, spiritual morality has died in the realms of Christianity. And these are the things that Christians promote. Everything that is deadly, the guns, the nuclear weapons, all of those guys go to church who make these things. See? And they are Christians.
Who is Pope John Paul II?
Pope John Paul.
Who is he? Who does he symbolize in these times?
Well, Pope John Paul according to him, is the leader for all denominations and organizations of Christianity, which Christianity, as I said, is the opposite of the reality of righteousness. That means it's devil's business, paganism. And they know that.
Last year, in your previous performance at the Country Club, one of the two nights you made a prophecy. And I wonder if you'd be kind enough to repeat that so we can get it on the record. It was about the 7 plagues.
The plagues. But then, if these things you don't repeat them, you say them once and they manifest themselves. This is a thing that you say for the benefit of someone.
Well, I wanted it for the benefit of more people than just the people who are in the nightclub like that.
Well, for example, no, you have heard it, and you are the one who must say it. I must not repeat it for the divine principles. See, yeah, man.
But you stand by that prophecy that you
Yes,
made last year.
and the greatest thing, I always stand by what I say, man. The greatest thing about it, one's word here. Saying you were there as a living witness and you are still here. And with your eyes.
People are still talking about that. You know,
Yeah.
8, 9 months after the fact.
Yeah. There are many more things to happen, and those who nothing yet. Many more things to happen. And these things must happen. That's why I have to leave these places. I'm getting on top of my nerves now. You see, because death is in its highest promotion. See, everything that you see for sale, it kills. Everything that man invents is deadly and dangerous. It's in promotion. And the only time you know how deadly it is after you have consumed a portion of it for a period of your life. Then you have automatically become dead and not know.
Do I take it you are anti-consumer then?
I anti everything that is civilization.
Yeah, but it's the civilization that puts your message across by the technology that presses records and everything. So Peter, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line between useful technology and that which is Babylon?
Yes, well, I'm a diplomat enjoying my lines. These technology are here for accesses. You use them. You don't make them you don't let them control you. Most people think these things. Computer is becoming so much advanced now and becoming so much a part of people's life that soon people don't want to watch shit anymore. They send the computer to do that. See? And I can't live in a world like that. I'm talking about draw lines. The only time I will draw a line is when I reach home and I say, well, I'm not going to leave home no more. And time I draw the line. But how can I draw a line when I'm an alien here?
Right now, unless I have misunderstood you for the past 5 years of conversation, home for you is Ethiopia.
Yes.
When can you go back to Ethiopia?
Anytime now.
Is the political situation within the nation of Ethiopia stable enough to allow you to go there?
Well, I know much about that. All of it is done.
All of it.
Yeah. But since the inclusion and the imperialism and colonialism and socialism and all form of Christianity came to the land and became Africa. But all of it is mine. It belongs to all of us. See? And every nation on earth has its part of earth. And every man has a place that he belongs. And every fig must find its fig tree.
To quote another great poet.
Yes, that's true.
Now, speaking of Bunny Wailer, is it true? Is Rastaman coming up strong once more? Are Bunny and Peter going to reform the Wailers with Vision and Junior Broccoli?
Yes, we're working on that right now. Me and Bunny supposed to do well. I don't know about Junior yet, but Vision is with me. Yeah, that means any form of work that their contribution was, rebuilding the school, and to, produce some good food. Vision is important.
Are you thinking of it as the Wailers?
Yeah, man.
What happens to the Wailers band then?
The original.
The Wailers band? What happens to Carly and Tyrone and...
Carly and Tyrone, man. Only way that. Carly and Tyrone can sing.
Not very well, I don't think.
We don't know that. See, when these are things that the world still don't understand.
So you will come back as the Wailers?
As the Wailers, and there has been no other Wailers but I. See, there are lots of imposters in this earth, and to the first, there always come a second.
always come a fantasy. See, and the fantasy wants to come and live the life of the reality. And to say that I am he, that can't work. Because to be a whale, I have to cry. See, God is going to make you go through troubles, temptation, see, humiliations and aggravation, police brutality. How much have they ever gone through that? How much have they ever been to jail? How much have they ever been humiliated? How much have they ever been executed? See, so a man can come clean because he was playing with Bob Marley. But Bob Marley was not the Wailers neither. See, Bob Marley was Bob Marley. See, and that's how he wanted it to be. And he had it that way because it was the Wailers before the segregation came with Chris Whitehurst in London 1973. See?
He's Akil Corral.
Are stimulated the thought of having the idea of Bob Marley and the Wailers. Well, here, we have some of your earliest singles here. And your first label, which featured the three hands interlinked on Waylon Solon, is very clearly labeled Bob Marley and the Waylon Wailers. Now that's 6-7 years before Chris and Island. So that is where it started. When you set up your own label, whose idea was it to call it Bob Marley and the Wailers? Well, it was the Bob's idea. I told the Wailers all the way, and you know that. Okay? When we went to England, that's where the album came out as Bob Marley and the Wailers. Now, actually, Catch a Fire and Burning were both released under the name of the Wailers. It wasn't until Manny Dread that it said Bob Marley. Bob Marley and the Wailers. He was also a repackaged one. But the very first one, Catch a Fire, just said the Wailers. The lighter top said the Wailers. So did Burning. But no, it is Bob Marley and the Wailers. But my point is, I mean, even here on Lee Perry's sessions, it was Bob Marley and the Wailers. Why now? Why do you and Buddy want to come back and mush the world as the Wailers once more? Well, come forward, excuse me. Well, for example, the Wailers is still the Wailers, and the Wailers still maintain that spiritual being and that potential, musical potential. And not only that, but the Wailers actually, the Wailers today is greater than the Wailers of that time. More progressive, more advanced, improved technology, and the creativity, and all kinds of music. See, because in those times it was 2-track, 1-track recording. See, and now we do 24 tracks up to 36 tracks. Will you tour? Will you tour? We will tour. Yeah. Well, Africa. Africa. Yeah, man. Has to be Africa before you go anywhere else? Yes, in Africa or somewhere near going to Africa. I mean, we are on the way to Africa. Would that include Europe then? Well, that could have been, yeah. Including us, things like that. So we can't expect to see the Wailers live in the States for any time. Well, we don't know what can happen. Maybe we can pass through here to going to Africa. Because that's our final farewell. And then you will live in Africa. Yes. It's interesting because Neville Garrick was in town a couple of weeks ago. He went to Kenya in June and he decided to move there with his family next year and become a Rasta missionary. Yes. If you go back to, if you go forward to Africa, what part appeals to you? What part of the continent? Well, for example, when I've been to Africa, that was Nigeria, right? Yeah. And that was the most beautiful part of Africa. Yes, it was beautiful. You know, there have been more places to check out. So I'm on an expedition checking out the different places. I've been going this European tour to Zimbabwe. It was to be the same, but we can't pick it further on in the year, maybe.
Alright, peace, Sister Yalfe. Yeah, enjoy your evening. Rest well.
Zimbabwe, I hear such a beautiful place.
Yeah, I think I'm about to close up too. It's getting close to that 2-hour mark.
There's a waterfall in Zimbabwe.
I think I did a little bit better in terms of framing his face. Yeah, man, because at the beginning it looked too much like my brother.
It should be about the end of that 20, right? Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, like, they meet a lot of brothers from Africa, all parts of Africa, you know, and you see them try, but they never really see them like, they praise Rastafari to the fullest, like, there's more time to fight down Rastafari, you know, like, you say bad things about Jack.
Yeah, man, many times. But these things can be explained, you know, for example. Can we put this on tape and let me answer the same question? Okay. Are you in the interruption? I'm taking the tape. Well, let's get it on video. Yeah, we don't want to talk, can't repeat it. I don't like what people say. Now, is there anything that you want to talk about in particular? About what the company is doing for YouTube. Yes, man, we are talking about, man, but okay, they think no one that's the public, and no one, they don't want, he might feel so way, and he's one little, Miss Anika move further lens. Put it on the syndicated radio here. Go to Africa. Yeah, we're on the Voice of America in Africa. There's 30 million people on Saturday. Yes, that is huge. Yeah, that little reggae show that we started is now international. Yeah. It's images of discrimination within the system, man, with diplomacy, man. Now, some little diplomatic, we pretend like them helping you, and them get for $150,000 for promotion. And when them give blood clot, David Bowie money for promotion, if I have blood clot, $1.5 million.
And 10,000 to the party after.
Oh, to bomb or blood clot. Them take me to some idiot, when you join that blood clot, I think they got one come up there, brother. His bomb or clot, thousands of people that use binocular to see the light. I'm fucking telling me what I'm saying, I'm building for my integrity, so look up bomb or blood clot. Yeah.
Give thanks, Akilo. Yeah, I mean, Akil Karak.
Bomb cloud. I don't know what's the fuck going on. I mean, don't see, man. Everything's here to keep I and I at the level that they brought us out of Africa and come here. See, 300 fucking years ago, they want to keep us at that level. See, you're not supposed to have a television. See, they're supposed to tell black men they can't come in a certain hotels again. And that's why they have to leave this blood clot place. Who, me? Got bomb of blood clot, man. Right now, man. We got 2 years ago, we got to a hotel in Boston, man. And it's bomb of clot. The people have said they don't want to be near because we're black.
Cradle of Democracy, Boston, Massachusetts.
Tell me blood clot. I just take them 2 years before my gun.
I think that's a good place to end off. All right, so I'm putting on the finishing touches and the shading. I'll do a little bit more tonight just to clean it up. I'll probably take a progress picture. I usually forget and just go straight to sleep, honestly. So, no promises. But I'll definitely do a little bit more before I close up. But give thanks for everybody passing through. And, stay tuned for the next one, Next Strong.